Morning, everybody. I have my purple coffee mug and my purple shirt for Advent. That's just a coincidence, but I thought of it right before I hit record, and I figured why not talk it up. Happy first week of Advent. I missed you all last week during the American holiday. I wasn't, blogging or doing these video messages, and I really enjoy those things. So it's good to be back, even though I had a wonderful time off, staycation, over the holiday weekend. Excuse me. That's better. Feeling a lot better. But man, it was really a nasty cold that I have. And now Henry has it. He's home from school today. I feel bad for him. But I'm pretty sure it's the exact same thing that Ann and I had. It's just a unpleasant experience. But at any rate, happy to be back. And I thought I would talk this week about just a couple things that have been going on with me and, just sort of the seasonal Advent, like what's happening in the first week of Advent. The dichotomy, I suppose, between the sort of quiet expectation of the liturgical Advent season and just the general rushiness I think that we all are probably feeling right now in terms of Christmas preparation and other things going on in our lives. So maybe you can all relate to that. But so right now with me, I've had these couple of very fun audio projects going on the past 2 Tuesdays. I really enjoyed the heck out of those. I was, with, as I had mentioned, Allison Jingers last week, and then I was on the Catholic Mom Hangout podcast just this past Tuesday. Really loved that. And so for the new year, my New Year's resolution is to officially get this podcast that I've been talking about going. I have had a tremendously busy semester at work, and so it just wasn't really a good time to take on something else new, because when I'm at home, I just really wanted to have total downtime with my family, just given how busy my days have been. So I just haven't gotten to that, but that's high on my list of priorities. I really thought I would have already gotten to it, but there's a high learning curve with a podcast for me. I have the audio recorder. I did the chaplets and all of that, and I'm still planning to add to that page, by the way. I haven't added any, I haven't needed to in the past month or so, but next year I'm planning on adding a few new chaplets. So those are still very much there if you want to go take a listen. But that was a good introduction for me to recording audio and some of the things you need to do. But in terms of having a co-hosted podcast, that would still be a few more new things that I have not done before. So I've got to figure that all out and actually get it started. And I think once we get the first one, it'll get a little bit easier, less intimidating to just keep going. And it may not be very fancy dancy. I don't know if I'm going to be able to figure out like putting in intro music and bumpers, but you know what? It's that's okay. I'll learn as I go, and it'll just be fun for all of us, hopefully along the way. And we'll take you all with us as we go about this new project and journey, and hopefully we'll all just enjoy it, and we'll just see what happens with it. But that's happening, and I'm looking forward to it. So so this past week was the Catholic Mom Hangout. I really loved it. We were talking about Advent, so it kind of relates if you want to go. They recorded as a Google Hangout on air, so it is available as a video if you wanted to watch it. I think it's about 40 minutes or so, but if you don't want to watch, it's available as a downloadable podcast, so you could just listen on your phone if you want. And I'd love to have you do that and give me your feedback, what you think. We talked about Advent, and we talked about sort of like a wellness type of how do you stay grounded during a busy family season, and it was great. I really loved it. So I would love it if you would take a listen. But just sort of along that theme, busyness this week and trying to stay grounded while we do that. But for Advent, I had a worship committee meeting last night, and it was one of those experiences. I've talked about this. I really wanted to get involved in my parish, and for this new liturgical year, our new pastor had the worship committee going in full force, and I've really been enjoying participating because there aren't a lot of other opportunities to get involved outside of the liturgy. The liturgy is still hard for me to have an active role in because Anne is only 4, and I don't feel comfortable leaving her by herself, with Henry yet in the pew for me to go be a lector or a Eucharistic minister. And so if Mike isn't with us, then I just don't know what would happen with the two of them out in the pew. I mean, Henry would obviously be fine, but Anne, that might not be, she can still be a little clingy. So I can't really make a commitment to sign on for one of those roles just yet at this stage of my life. So I've wanted to get involved in some other way within the administration of the parish, and there's not a lot of opportunities there. And so I've gone to a couple of these meetings, and all has gone well. And it went well last night too, but I have to say, I'm going to generalize this because I'm just trying to be fair and charitable. But I get the sense that sometimes people don't want to get involved in new things because it seems to me that this is universal amongst churches. I could be wrong, but this is just my impression. It seems to me that there's often one or more people that are very involved in groups like this, and they can just bring a little bit of a downer type of a vibe, right? Grainess, we'll say. And it makes it very imposing for new people to want to then become involved, which is kind of a shame. And so that was definitely the vibe last night. And to me, I'm thinking I'm very committed to wanting to move forward with this, so I'm going to stay involved. But I was more amused by it than anything else, but it's just kind of, it can be a little discouraging. I mean, we don't want to, if other new people want to join, you don't want people to be scared away, because there's a little bit of a curmudgeon factor. So, but I like I said, I think this is kind of common, and you just gotta keep going, because otherwise nothing, then new people aren't able to get involved, and you're not able to do something that is really meaningful to you. And so I didn't feel discouraged by it at all, but it was eye-opening, I suppose. I wasn't surprised by it, but it was, it's like, well, I just hope that, feathers are not ruffled, and everybody continues to participate, including people who may have a curmudgeonly side. We want them to be involved, but we still, we want there to be a nice sort of a tone, I guess, to these meetings, and that can be a challenge. But I'm up to the challenge. I think I'm pretty quiet in those. It's not like it really impacted me personally, but I just want to be able to see the new fruitful and nice things popping up at the parish go well. So do my small role and see if I can make that happen. I don't know. But I love our pastor's wonderful, so he's definitely up to the task. And then in other news, my class, I had mentioned at the beginning of the semester, I'm co-teaching a credit-bearing class this semester, and it's gone really well, but it's the end of the semester, and I'm just feeling I'm feeling like I want the semester to be over. Classes are still in session, they'll be over soon. And our students don't have an exam. It's just a 2-credit class, but they had a final project, and talk about discouraging. All semester, you've got 3 groups of students traditionally in these courses. You've got students that you see every week, really good students. Then there's like a middle group. Sometimes you see them, sometimes you don't. Sometimes they turn in their work, sometimes they don't. But they're grown-ups. They're college students. They are adults. And so if they're going to do their work, they're going to do it. And if they're not, they're not. I'm not going to chase after them. And then there's students that it's like all of a sudden it's the end of the semester. Who are you? Do I know you? They came for the first class, and now I haven't seen them, and it's the end of the semester, and they've realized that they're failing the class because they haven't done anything. They haven't turned in any of their papers or anything, and so then everybody's panicking, and so it's a lot of work for both of us, both students and instructors alike, because now there's like all of a sudden they want to try to catch up, and it's a lot of work. So I've been doing lots of grading, and I like to give my students a lot of feedback on why I'm giving them a certain grade, number of points on a project. This is what you need to do to improve the next time, and because it's a learning experience, so it's time consuming. So I've been working on that, and I can't wait. It's like 2 weeks, I think I'll be all done with their final projects and grading all of those, and man, am I looking forward to that. The campus is it's so busy. I would have thought that people would be skipping class by this point, and the parking lots would be freed up, but apparently that's not the case. I guess it's good, right? They're all coming to class. Now, at least, the middle of the semester, things did take a lull. But there's the panic mode, so we're all in panic mode and busy, 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 busy. But what's going on with you? I'm having a good time, just leisurely online shopping for my Christmas gifts and reading my Advent Magnificat companion and praying my Christmas novena. I know you're supposed to do it, 15 times. I have to say, I haven't been doing that, but you know what? I don't think St. Andrew or our Lord really is counting. But I do take time out of my day every day, and I just really contemplate the prayer. I linked to it in a prior post. I'll link to it in the show notes for this. For this novena, it is a beautiful, just a short paragraph. As I read the words, it really harkens Advent and that sense of expectation and anticipation. It's really a beautiful prayer. And so I try to take time out of my day. When I think of it, I made a sticky in my Advent companion, stuck the prayer in there, and I just open it up and read it. And I just take my time with it and just linger over the words. And it's been really wonderful. It's really been lifting up my days. So I hope that your Advent is off to a good start. Write in and tell me what you're doing, what do you have going on, and I look forward to talking to you all next week. Bye.